Hi everyone, welcome to English for You. I'm Kat.
And I'm Reese.
And we are here today with another literature article for you.
Yes, we love doing these together, don't we, Kat?
Yes, we do. And we often get some quite serious topics. I feel like we often talk about books or stories that are a little bit more about the dark side of life or maybe some more serious kind of issues. And this one is no exception.
No exception.
Yeah.
But today is a story of determination and people overcoming difficult things in life. So
that's right.
It has a bit of a happier ending.
Yes, it has a happier sort of a hopeful message. It's about a girl who loses her leg in a car accident. I don't think I'm spoiling anything there because that's literally the first thing that we talk about in the first day. So, imagine what it would be like if that happened to you. I think it would change your life quite a bit.
Yeah, I think most of us are pretty lucky in that most of us go through life without any big traumas. Yeah. But some people are unfortunate enough to be in serious accidents or things like this, and it really can just change their lives.
Yeah.
So this article is going to explain to us how something that happens to you physically can really just alter the rest of your life. And so the story is called The Running Dream.
Yes.
And we're going to be talking about this for 3 days.
Yes, so let's get right into day one and start talking about what the story is about.
Reading. The Running Dream. It'll be okay, Jessica's mom whispers as she leans across the hospital bed. She's trying to comfort Jessica, but it's clear she has been crying too. 2 large tears roll down Jessica's cheeks. Her hopes and dreams are over. Nothing is more important to her than running. Lacing up her shoes and speeding down the track was the best part of her day. She was the fastest member of the school team, their star runner. It took her just 55 seconds to finish her last 400-meter race. But that was before the terrible school bus accident. It was before her classmate was killed. It was before Jessica lost her leg. The doctor enters the room and gives her a warm smile. "I have good news for you, Jessica," he says. "You're recovering well, and we'll make an artificial leg for you." Jessica begins to cry as he pulls back her bed sheets to change the bandages. There it is, her stump. No foot, no ankle, just an ugly swollen stump below her knee.
Okay, so let's get into the article. It begins by saying, "It'll be okay," Jessica's mum whispers as she leans across the hospital bed. Okay, so already we have a character, Jessica's mum and Jessica, and they're in a hospital for some reason. But before we learn more about that, let's learn about this word lean. Lean is a verb spelled L-E-A-N, and it means to be or move your body into a sloping position. So that means kind of if you're standing up straight, you move your body to the side, but without falling over.
Yeah, like you maybe try and reach over the table, you'll be leaning.
Exactly.
Yeah,
and you can lean to the side against nothing, or you can lean against something like a wall. So you can also lean against your friend. Imagine putting your elbow up on your friend's shoulder and putting your weight on them. You're leaning against them.
Right, exactly. And what is she doing leaning across the hospital bed? The article says she's trying to comfort Jessica, but it's clear she has been crying too. Oh, so this is a very sad moment. We're in a hospital. Jessica's mom is comforting Jessica, and she has been crying too, which means both of them have been crying. That's very sad. But she's trying to comfort her here. And to comfort somebody is a verb that means to try and make them feel better when they're feeling very bad or sad or upset or scared or some other kind of negative emotion. If you say that something is comforting, that's an adjective for comfort, it makes you feel a little bit better and a little bit safer. So things like holding a stuffed animal or eating some comfort food like, I don't know, ice cream or fried chicken. People giving you hugs and nice words or getting to watch a nice movie. Those are all things we do to comfort ourselves or comfort other people, to try and make each other feel better when we're feeling really bad. So obviously they've been crying, they're feeling really, really bad about something. So here's an example sentence for comfort. Hannah's best friend came over to comfort her and watch a movie together after she broke up with her boyfriend.
Oh.
You would need some comfort in that time.
Definitely would. Well, the article continues and it says, 2 large tears roll down Jessica's cheeks. Her hopes and dreams are over.
Oh my.
Gosh, it doesn't get much better, does it?
Her hopes and dreams are over. We just started the article.
Right. Well,
Yeah.
we still haven't found out why, although we kind of spoiled it earlier.
Yeah.
But first, let's talk about this word, cheek, C-H-E-E-K. Cheek is a noun, and your cheek is on your face. Or, in fact, you have 2 cheeks.
Yes.
The cheeks are the big, fleshy bits on either side of your face, kind of below your eyes and to the side of your nose.
Yeah.
Grandmas and grandpas love to grab babies by the cheek because they're so cute and chubby.
Yes.
Hamsters also look very cute when they stuff food into their cheeks.
Yeah.
And
They get very big faces.
they do. It's
Yeah.
so cute.
Yeah.
So an example sentence with cheeks could be, his cheeks turned red when he realized that everybody was looking at him.
Yeah, that's happened before. Definitely. So, yeah, so when you cry, your tears will go down your cheeks. So tears, of course, are the water that comes out of your eyes when you cry. And it goes down her cheeks. She's got large tears rolling down her cheeks. She's very, very upset. What the article says is, nothing is more important to her than running. Running. Okay, so running, we get a hint here about what this is about. But first we have this grammar point, which is nothing or no thing or nobody is more adjective. And then we have a comparative adjective. So this is a way to emphasize that what we are talking about is the number one most important or most good or most scary, something like that thing. Usually it's talking about things that are important. It's an inversion or a flipped around way of saying that something is the most adjective. Here's an example from the article. We've got the sentence, nothing is more important to her than running. If you want to put that back in the reverse way, you can say running is the most important thing to her. So here's another way we can do it. We can go with nobody is more adjective or adjective-er, and we turn it into this is the most adjective or the most adjective-est person. So nobody is better at singing than Danielle. Or we could say Danielle is the best at singing. Nobody is more upset about this than I am. I am the most upset about this out of everybody. Then if we want to have no with a noun, we can say no cake from this shop is more delicious than the chocolate one. Or the chocolate cake is the most delicious one from this shop. They mean the same thing, but the first way gives them a little more emphasis.
Now I want some chocolate.
No cake is more delicious than chocolate cake. Yep.
Yum. Well, the article carries on here and it says, lacing up her shoes and speeding down the track was the best part of her day. Okay, so a bit more information here about this girl. She's obviously a runner and she enjoys running and it's something that's important to her life. So
Nothing's more important.
Right, it's the most important thing.
Yeah.
And we have a word here to talk about. It's the word speed. Speed is usually used as a noun to talk about how fast something is moving, but we can also use it as a verb. To speed means to move somewhere very quickly. So speeding down the track means you're running quickly down the track. Cars can also speed. That means they're moving too quickly. You know, on roads they have speed limits. If a car is speeding, that means it's going faster than the speed limit, which is illegal and bad and dangerous.
Yeah. Please don't speed. Yeah.
So an example sentence could be, when the bell rang, the children began speeding down the corridor. So all the children are running really fast down the corridor.
Yeah, exactly. So she would speed down the track, but now she's in the hospital, she's crying. I think you can kind of put together what is happening. But here's a little more about her life before. She was the fastest member of the school team, their star runner. it took her just 55 seconds to finish her last 400-meter race. 400 meters, that's a mile, right?
55 seconds?
55 seconds.
That's very, very fast.
Yeah, she would have been sprinting, which is about running as fast as you possibly can.
I think it takes me 55 seconds just to get up out of my chair.
You're an old man.
Yeah.
55 seconds, I think I could run 100 or 200 meters in that time. So she's twice as fast.
So she's very good at running.
Yeah.
Well, the article tells us more, and it tells us what happened. It says, but that was before the terrible school bus accident.
Oh, no.
Okay, so there's been an accident on a school bus, and it was terrible. Let's talk about what this word accident means before we find out exactly what went down. So accident is a noun, and an accident is something that happens, usually unfortunately and unintentionally. That makes someone or something get hurt or broken. So if something is an accident, that means nobody meant to cause a problem. It just kind of happened.
Yeah.
So car accidents are fairly common, and dropping your phone on the ground and making the screen crack is a type of accident too. Nobody meant to do it, it just happened.
Yep. Yeah.
So an example sentence could be, after the accident with the knife, Mary didn't let her sons in the kitchen again.
Oh boy, I can't imagine what happened. I really hope nobody got seriously hurt. Yeah, but it's talking about a bus accident here. And school bus accidents can be really, really bad because school buses usually don't have seatbelts.
Yes, which
and
is
they have lots of kids on them.
Lots of kids. It's very strange to me that school buses and public buses don't make you wear seatbelts.
Yeah, but I mean, yeah, it's because you might need to get off and on quickly. So what it says is, it was before her classmate was killed. It was before Jessica lost her leg. So we know two things now. There was another classmate of hers that was killed in this accident, and she lost her leg.
Yes, and the it in the article is talking about her being the fastest member of the school team. That was before her classmate was killed and before she lost her leg.
Yeah.
Very, very sad.
Yeah, it is.
The article tells us more. It says the doctor enters the room and gives her a warm smile. I have good news for you, Jessica, he says. Okay, so the doctors come in. Finally, we're going to get some relief from the awful sadness of what's happened. I wonder what the doctor's good news could be.
Yeah, I mean, they always want to give you a little good news, especially when you're feeling really bad.
And the doctor has a warm smile. So warm is usually a word we use to talk about temperature. So warm is kind of like a comfortable temperature, but it's not too hot. But a warm smile means that it's a friendly smile. So the doctor is looking very, very friendly indeed. And the article continues.
Yeah, it says, you're recovering well and we'll make an artificial leg for you. So that's his good news. And yeah, so he says she's recovering and they're going to make an artificial leg. So let's talk about what these things mean. When you recover from something or somebody recovers from something, that's a verb that means, well, when somebody is hurt or sick or they have negative emotions, recovery, which is the noun for recover, or recovering, is getting back to a normal state. Recovering means your body heals, your injuries aren't going to get hurt or infected anymore. They probably don't hurt anymore because they're already, maybe turned into a scar, or they just aren't there anymore. It doesn't mean you'll be exactly the way you were before, but you'll be not sick and your hurt will be healed up. So people recover from things like surgeries, they recover from breakups, or things like getting a cold. It's a slow process. Recovery does not happen all at once, which is why Jessica is recovering and not already recovered. So he wants to tell her that she's getting better, basically. All right, and here's an example sentence. After he got COVID-19, Richard took a few weeks to recover and feel normal again. Yeah. So, yeah, recovery is one thing you hope for if you get hurt. You want to recover. And one of the things they're going to do to help her recover is make an artificial leg. Artificial is something that is not real. It's something made by people to substitute or change out for a real thing. So for an example, you might see that your food sometimes has artificial flavors. That means it's not from the real food that it's supposed to taste like. It's probably made in a lab or something. It's the opposite of natural. So if it's got natural flavors, if it's a natural leg, that means it's something that is from the real thing. It's from nature. So Jessica can't grow her leg back. She's not a lizard. So she needs to have a new one made if she wants to walk, and she'll have an artificial leg, or what they call a prosthetic.
Right, and technology is so good these days that the artificial legs can act almost as well as a real natural leg.
Sometimes better.
Yeah. Well, the article tells us more. Jessica begins to cry as he pulls back her bedsheets to change the bandages. Wow, that's a very emotive scene there. So Jessica's crying. Losing a leg must just be a terrible, terrible experience.
Yeah, even if you're not a runner, it would be awful.
Well, there's a word here. It's bandages, and bandage is a noun, and it's a piece of cloth that you wrap around your body when you're injured or something is hurting. So if you cut or burn your skin, you should clean the area first, then wrap it up with bandages to protect it. So her leg, or what's left of her leg, has been wrapped up with bandages, I guess to stop infections and to keep it safe.
To help it heal, yeah. So then we go on with the article. And of course, what does she see under the sheets? There it is, her stump. No foot, no ankle, just an ugly, swollen stump below her knee.
It's very graphic, graphic description there.
Yeah, and anybody who has lost a limb or never had a limb will have a stump. So the stump is the part that remains after something gets cut off. It can be talking about a limb, which is an arm or a leg, or it could talk about something like a tree. If you cut down a tree, the part that's left over will be the tree stump. So if a person's leg or arm is cut off, or if they lose it, they will have a stump at the end of where their limb used to be, or where they never had a limb if they were born without one. That would be a stump. And we have this other word here. She says she has an ugly, swollen stump. So swollen here means something that is bigger than it usually is. Usually it's puffy, it might be full of fluid, or it's something else, or probably just her leg is bigger and red because it's injured and it needs to heal. If something swells up, swell is the verb for swollen. So swollen is the adjective and swell is the verb. So if something swells, it gets bigger and usually quite uncomfortable, like it needs to go down again. A pregnant woman, for example, her belly will be swollen. Your eyes get swollen when you cry. Your lip might get swollen if somebody punches you in it. Or if you ever had your teeth removed, you might get swollen cheeks from that. I remember when I had my wisdom teeth removed, my face was very swollen. I looked really silly.
Or red and puffy.
Yeah, purple and puffy, actually. Yeah. All sorts of colors. So here's an example sentence for swollen. Fiona had a swollen bump on her knee after she hit it falling off her bike. Ouch. Yeah.
Well, that's the end of the article for day one.
Yeah, so we leave off at a sad place.
Yes, we've learned a bit about what happened to Jessica. She's lost her leg. She used to be a runner. One of her friends was killed as well.
Yeah.
But there might be some hope because she might be able to get an artificial leg.
Yeah.
Well, we've got 2 more days of this article, but for now, we're going to go to our For You chat question.
Okay.
For You chat.
Okay, so today's chat question is the following. What kind of difficulties might Jessica face after her accident?
I mean, obviously she will face difficulties with her body. You know, she probably will look at herself and think like, oh no, I'm not whole anymore. I used to have a leg here and now I don't, so I'm an incomplete person. I know that, I think a lot of amputees have kind of this feeling about themselves when they see that their body has been damaged. And she won't be able to run like she used to. Or if she does, she'll probably have to learn again. Yeah. So those kinds of things.
This kind of physical trauma, so something that happens to your body, is not only physical trauma, it's also emotional and mental.
Yeah.
So it's something that can affect the way that you feel and think. And, this is something that's going to change your whole life.
Yeah,
There
exactly.
are going to be things that you can't do that you probably could do before.
Yeah.
Although with today's technology, like we said, the artificial legs are so good that you might be able to live a relatively normal life.
Yeah.
But as Kat said, she's probably going to have to learn how to walk again,
Yeah.
especially with this new kind of leg.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, that's true of anybody who, breaks their leg or maybe breaks their foot, something like that. You'll have to go through therapy for that. So it's not only people who lose their limbs, but it's also people who injure them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But anyway, we, of course, left off at a very sad place today, but that doesn't mean it's going to keep being sad the whole time. Tomorrow, hopefully, we will have a little bit more hopeful part of the story. So let's sign off for now. We will see you tomorrow for day 2.
See you then.
Bye-bye.
The Running Dream. It'll be okay, Jessica's mom whispers as she leans across the hospital bed. She's trying to comfort Jessica, but it's clear she has been crying too. 2 large tears roll down Jessica's cheeks. Her hopes and dreams are over. Nothing is more important to her than running. Lacing up her shoes and speeding down the track was the best part of her day. She was the fastest member of the school team, their star runner. It took her just 55 seconds to finish her last 400-meter race. But that was before the terrible school bus accident. It was before her classmate was killed. It was before Jessica lost her leg. The doctor enters the room and gives her a warm smile. "I have good news for you, Jessica," he says. "You're recovering well, and we'll make an artificial leg for you." Jessica begins to cry as he pulls back her bed sheets to change the bandages. There it is, her stump. No foot, no ankle, just an ugly swollen stump below her knee.
Vocabulary Review. Comfort. Emily's mother comforted her with a hug when she was sad. Cheek. For Halloween, I painted lines on my cheeks and a circle on my nose to look like a cat. Speed. Cindy took her bike up a high hill and then sped down as fast as she could. Accident. Oliver got into a car accident because he was looking at his phone while he was driving. Recover. It took me a few days to recover from being sick and feel well enough to go to school. Swollen. I hit my finger while closing the drawer, and now it hurts a lot and is quite swollen.
智慧小补帖
Lean. Artificial. Bandage. Stump.
以上节目是由活用空中美语制作，活用空中美语杂志，请洽询全国各大书店。如欲索取试听教材，请来电02-2364-4000 02-2364-4000，或上网查询，网址是 www.english4u.net www.english4u.net